Oh hey you, what up? Welcome to my channel, welcome back. Excuse the voice, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. But in this video, we are going to be testing new makeup to find out what's new in makeup for this month. I have so much newness from higher end brands to drugstore brands, from prestige to masstige, everything in between. Of course, I'm going to be slapping it onto my face to create this look and to give you all the scoop. So if you are here for it, then let's go. Remember to subscribe if you aren't already, notification bell, and now let's hit it. What's new in makeup for the month of November? Going into December, let's hit it. So I've got a new primer. It is from Flower Beauty. It's called the Skin Smoothie Radiant Glow Primer. This is from Drew Barrymore's line, Flower. This looks like a very glowy type of primer and also kind of on the pearlescent side. So I think I'm just going to keep this on the perimeter of my face. Oh yeah, this is really, really pretty. I love the glow. I did just come back from LA and the weather there was beautiful. It was so nice. We went to the beach a couple of times. We went kayaking. So I have a little bit of a sun-kissed glow. And also my skin is on the good side because guess what? My oily AF skin normalizes the moment I step off the plane in LA because I guess my skin just thrives in a desert climate. My God. And it totally makes sense. My ancestors are from the desert. Therefore, my skin's DNA is probably used to that climate. So maybe perhaps I'm not an oily skin type after all. Maybe in fact I am normal, but I am just in the wrong climate. I feel like I've said this before, but not enough people talk about it. So I'm going to continue saying it over and over again. It's also important to note that when you're in a different climate, you should probably switch up your skincare routine. Like for example, when I'm in LA or even in Vegas, I can totally use heavier moisturizers. Whereas when I'm in New York, I always have to use a gel water-based formula. And if you're wondering what is wrong with my voice, it's because I was having way too much fun in LA. Pretty sure I caught a bug on my way flying back home. Hopefully it's not that bug. Anyway, I did it to myself. Too much fun was being had and now I'm just paying the consequences. All right. So skin is kind of glowy. It is coming together. I am going to use my DANESSA MYRICKS Blurring Balm Powder for the center of the face. There's very little left in this one, but I do have another one. Don't fear. I'm just going to use this in the inner portion of my face where I get oily when I'm back home in New York. I totally did not use this when I was in LA. Matter of fact, I hardly used powder and my skin was so good. It was literally thriving. I'm gonna pop up a picture just so you could see what I mean. I was literally hardly blotting. In fact, I wasn't blotting at all. My makeup looked so good. I was wearing it all day long from morning to night. I'm telling you, it's not talked about enough, but it should be. Alrighty, so now that I used the Flower Beauty Glow Primer and then my DANESSA MYRICKS, I feel like my skin is now balanced. For today, I am going to use an oldie but a goodie foundation. I just got a refill from Too Faced, the Born This Way foundation in the shade Sand. This one is probably one of my first full coverage foundations that I fell in love with back in the day when I first started my blog, when I first started IG. So I've been working with Too Faced for quite a while now, and I've been loving their products for quite a while. And this is probably my favorite foundation from them. I know they have a lot, but this one has always been just my favorite solid go-to. It's good for oily skin, it's good for normal skin, it's even good for dry skin. You can't go wrong with this one. Also, I have this new complexion booster from JLo Beauty, and it is a highlighter, a bronzer, and a diffuser in one. So I'm not actually sure how to use this, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this to just like some strategic areas of my face for a little bit of that glow, for a little bit of that boost. The shade that I'm using is Warm Bronze, and I also have it in Rich Bronze. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this IT Cosmetics brush. This is very similar to the Complexion Perfection brush, but it's in a heart shape. I don't believe they sell it still. But anyway, I'm gonna spread my foundation kind of like in a downwards motion, avoiding that bronzer at first. And once I've kind of spread that over my face, then I'm gonna start mixing in that bronzer and adding that to the perimeter of my face for that extra little bit of glow. I'm not sure I'm seeing much of a difference just yet. Perhaps I need a mirror to see it. Hold on. Ah, yes. Okay, so the consistency of this JLo bronzer highlighter is gel-like. And because it is gel-like, it is actually shearing out the foundation. So I'm glad that I spread out the foundation first and then kind of got a chance to blend that in with some of the perimeter of my face. I would say this is more of a glow product than an actual bronzing product. It is definitely adding some dew. It's adding a little bit of that glass-like shine, but it's not one of those body bronzers that offers a lot of shimmer and shine. There is no sparkle, there is no glitter to this product. It's actually a little bit more on the effortless side, although it does not look it at first. Alright, so the complexion is now quite even. I should probably cover up the spot here. This spot is an interesting story too, actually. So I've had this bump sitting under my skin for probably like 6 months, and I could always feel that little ball underneath my skin, but it was so deep in there, there was no way I could get it out. Not even an esthetician could get it out. So I kind of forgot about it, and I just decided that it was going to continue ruining my jawline and making me look like I have jowls until I went to LA. And this pimple actually came to a point on like day 4. I was so excited. I finally squeezed it out. It was easy to squeeze, otherwise I wouldn't have squeezed it. And now I'm excited for it to heal because I can have my jawline back. You know what I'm saying? Point is, I am just like one of those New Yorkers who loves LA. I know there's not a lot of us, but I am one of those people. All right, let's move on to some concealer. I have a bunch of concealers here that are kind of just been sitting here for a while. I have the Makeup Forever HD Skin that I believe I've already tried and didn't really love. I also have the Dose of Colors Let's Face It Concealer, which is the same product they've always had, except now it has a different naming convention. So I have it here in shade Light 2 and Light 1. I'm thinking Light 1 might be way too light, so I'm gonna save that one for my sis. Fully Light 2 will be the one. Also, I will say that Dose of Colors concealers tend to oxidize a lot, and they do smell like paint, which is not everyone's thing, but it is my thing because my parents are painters, they're artists, and so I like this scent. Okay, I think that shade seems to be working out for me. I'm gonna blend that out with my Rare Beauty Concealer brush. I'm applying a very small amount because this product is on the pigmented side. I'm just gonna take whatever's remaining on my brush and tap that over the spot just to tone it down a bit. I'm gonna set my under eye. Oh man, my voice really does sound quite rough. If you follow me on IG and if you've seen my IG stories over the last week or so, then you know how much fun I've been having with my friends in LA. I always find that LA has a better sense of community for me because a lot of my friends in the industry live there, and so I always end up having just the best social life, as opposed to here in New York where a lot of my friends are spread out. Nobody's really close. My 2 best friends are both moms. They're really busy moms, and so although I get to see them, it's only really once a month. Similarly with my siblings, who don't live too far away from me, but definitely not close enough that I can see them every day after school. And besides, they're in that age where they are much more interested in hanging out with their friends than hanging out with their little big sis. So yeah, whenever I do go to LA, it is like my time to catch up on my social game and on my social life. The complexion is coming together. Sorry, my hair is wet from the shower. It's kind of annoying. Like I said, it took me a while to get myself together this morning. I was just not feeling all that great. All right, so now for powder, I have a new product from this brand called Mob, or perhaps it's MOB, and it's a blurring loose setting powder. Comes in a really cute carton packaging. It's supposed to be a clean brand. Oh wow. Oh, okay, that just came apart. Oh, I guess that's really cool. You can easily remove this topper here if you just want to dip your beauty blender or your sponge or your brush into the powder directly. Kind of gives you the flexibility to do that. Sometimes I think that's easier. I'm just gonna take this big old Laura Lee Los Angeles brush. Speaking of Laura Lee, she's one of the friends I saw in LA, and we had a grand old time. This powder, at first impression, is more of a finishing powder than a setting powder. It is microfine, so that's a really, really good thing. And although it is perfecting, I will say that it does have some microscopic luminous particles, so this is one of those powders that runs the risk of giving you flashback if you take a photo with flash photography. So in order to avoid that, you either have to set that with another powder, or you have to apply this very, very sparingly. This is not a powder that you can bake with. You really have to make sure that you buff it into your skin and spread it out well, but it is very much perfecting. I can tell on the monitor that my skin looks better than before. So I wouldn't necessarily take my beauty sponge and dip it directly into the powder and then press it onto my face. Just speaking from experience, this type of powder is probably best applied with a brush using circular motions and more like as a finishing product as opposed to a setting product. Okay. But I can't say I don't like it. Right now, with my skin being almost at its best, I feel like this is a really good powder to use. I'm gonna save this one for the future. For right now, however, I am gonna reach for my one size powder foundation in medium G4. This is by my boo, Patrick Starr, who I also just saw in LA. Known Patrick for a long time. He's actually one of the first friends I made in the industry. And it's always amazing to reconnect with him. He is just so brilliant and so inspiring, you know? And such a loving person. So what I'm doing now is I'm using my Jones Road brush, and I'm kind of just tapping that powder over the previous powder because I don't want flashback. And not that you will absolutely 100% get flashback with that MOB powder, but just to stay on the safe side, I want to cover all the bases. And look how pretty that looks all together. It just looks really, really seamless and really healthy and really glowy. Turn up the base, foundation powder, shade medium 4G, golden undertone. Okay, so now I have something hot, fresh off the press. It is from Makeup Forever. Here we have some new powder blushes, bronzers, and highlighters. We also have some pencils, but these are not new products that you've seen before from Makeup Forever. But this packaging is definitely new. And what's really cool about this packaging is that you can actually remove the product and you can replace it. So that's genius. Nice and slick and sleek. Several shades here. A couple of highlighters. Actually 3 highlighters. This one is gorgeous for deep skin tones. I'm probably going to use this as an eyeshadow or maybe all over my body. So for today, I'm going to go for a safe color. This one right here. It is called Wherever Rose. And I do love a rosy blush. I'm going to use this Refer brush. A little bit of that Wherever Rose. I'm just going to swirl that on my entire cheekbone. A little bit into the temple. A little bit in the under eye right here. This is a pigmented blush, but it's very easy to spread and blend. As with most Makeup Forever products, they are just so easy to use, so intuitive. And now for the highlighter, I'm gonna go for this golden shade, Anywhere Glimmer. I'm gonna use this Rare Beauty brush. That is beaming. That is beaming. This highlighter is just a pinch more sparkly than I like. There are a lot of glittery particles, but the base of it is just so pretty and so dainty that you can almost get away with it for the daytime. So I would say this is probably more of a nighttime type of highlighter. But on healthy skin, it looks really pretty. Next thing I'm gonna do is reach for some new brow products. Dun dun dun! Bunch of newness for the brows from LYS Beauty, which is a clean beauty brand at Sephora, founded by my friend Tisha, who is not from LA, but is actually from Atlanta. Until this day, I've never been to Atlanta, and I'm dying to go. So here we have the brow gel, Secure Brow, typical LYS triangular packaging. I'm gonna use the brow gel first, because that's just been my technique lately. Also, I wanna see how strong this brow gel is. Is it able to control and tame my unruly brows, because not all brows are made the same. Since I already have my foundation on, I'm not going to try to glue these brows to my skin. I'm just going to try to glue them to each other. This brow gel so far feels very flexible, meaning it's not really going hard. It's not really drying, too plasticky, you know. You're definitely able to groom the brows with it, and I am able to glue them to themselves. So as long as I can do that, I'm happy. Because I feel like that trend of gluing the brows to your forehead is on its way out. It's already looking a little bit outdated. At least it does on me. Sure, some people can still pull it off, but I'm trying to stay away from that trend just because, I don't know. Anything that's not too natural just always seems to not stay timeless, if you know what I mean. This looks really nice. I actually like the way that it is keeping my brows. They are looking soft. I was able to kind of maneuver them into the position that I wanted. So, brows are groomed. Now I need to fill them in. I got 2 pencils here, a dark brown and also a soft black. I'm gonna go for the soft black because my brows are black. Again, triangular packaging, very cute. Not a microfine, but a nicely sized tip. Also a nice amount of product in there. Okay. And it keeps going. All right, there it is. That's how much product we're getting in here. On the other side, we have a spoolie. I will not be using that since I already brow gel in my brows. So since I kind of grew out my brows, I don't find that I really need to do much in terms of filling them in. I really like the density of my brows. The only thing I'm still struggling with is the tail end. I do have brow hairs on my tail end, but they are just so much finer than the rest of my brows that you almost can't see them. So for me, all I have to do is just extend the tail end just a little bit and then gently fill in that shape, and then perhaps add a little bit of fill right here. Hair-like strokes, like that. Perfect. This pencil is very, very soft. More like a powder brow pencil than a wax, which is what I prefer from a brow pencil. I think the waxy kind can work on finer brow hairs, and then the wax can in turn also hold the finer brow hairs in place. But for me, with my coarser brow hairs, a waxy brow pencil is just not ideal. It doesn't quite work for me. It's a little bit more messy. It's much harder to blend with my coarser brow hairs. So just like we talk about hair types and skin types, I think it's important to talk about brow hair types and how much brow hairs you have, like the density of your actual brows, because not every formulation of product is going to work for everyone. We're all different. Okay, I think I was able to make it work. I really love the way that I just did my brows. They look really, really natural, but snatched and almost undetectable that I have brow product in. At least that's what I'm seeing in my monitor. My brows look very, very natural, and that is what I personally like for myself at the current moment. So far, so good. I like this. The next thing I'm gonna do is put my favorite Fenty Beauty eye primer on my lids. By the way, I totally do not need eye primer when I'm in LA. Just saying, my lids do not get oily whatsoever. There's no creasing. I can wear any foundation. I can wear any powder eyeshadow. There's just no creasing. It's crazy. And then like the moment I step on the plane, my skin goes right back to oily. It's incredible. I actually took a photo of my skin on the plane just so I can document this phenomenon and so I can relate it to you guys. All right, so now that my lids are primed, I'm gonna reach for a brand new palette from LUNAR Beauty, the Siren Sunset by my boo, MaryamNYC, who I was supposed to see in LA, but Manny was a little bit busy. So next time. But anyway, this is what the palette looks like. It is absolutely beautiful. This just might be my new favorite color combo. This might be my favorite LUNAR Beauty palette so far. The colors are just so striking. It's giving me merman, it's giving me mermaid, and it's also giving me holiday all at once. Got a pinch of celestial glam to it. It is really, really, really striking. I'm loving all these like duochromatic shifty shades. I don't even know what kind of a look I want to go for. But there's a lot of neutral shades here, so I think I'm gonna start off with some neutrals. Gonna reach for this shade here called Shell-like color. Basically gonna kinda brighten up my eye socket right underneath my brow bone and also the brow bone, like that. That looks too crazy. I did like a reverse contour. I put the lightest shade in my crease, so it looks absolutely insane at the moment, but that's okay. We will fix it. Next, I'm gonna take shade Low Tide. I'm gonna pop that right into the outer eye socket area to bring back that crease and to sort of raise my crease. My natural crease is a lot lower than where I'm placing this one, and I'm placing this shade right underneath that bone where I kind of have like a soft groove, but it's not my actual crease. These two shades are nice. The shades are nice. They're blending well into each other. Feeling it. The brush that I'm using is Wayne Goss 04 brush, and I heard from a little birdie that Wayne Goss might be coming out with more brushes. I am excited because those brushes were my first luxury brushes. Second of all, I still have not found anything better, at least for eye work. Wayne's brushes are made in Japan. They are comparable to some of those higher end Japanese brands, and brushes in Japan have been made a specific way for centuries, so they are considered the best of the best. All right, so now that I have that defined eye socket crease, I think I want to use some color. All right, so first I'm gonna reach for the shade Pink Pearl. Dip my finger into it. Definitely has that oyster shell-like finish. I'm gonna dab that into the inner portion of my eye, like that. Oh, it looks so pretty, okay. And then I'm gonna go for this shade called Silver Sea. Ooh, this feels really nice and creamy. Oh, look at that. It's like a taupey gunmetal shade. I'm sorry, this is stunning. It's so fall appropriate and so cool, but in the dreamiest of ways. Really, really soft eyeshadow, beautifully pigmented. Kind of just spreading that across. Oh wow, that looks really mesmerizing and really different and interesting. I'm gonna layer a bit of that Pink Pearl, the first eyeshadow, over it because I feel like I lost that pinch of pink and I still want there to be that little bit of a shift, you see? I'm gonna layer it right over, and then I'm gonna take a clean brush and just diffuse that pink because it also shifts green. So I'm going to add that little bit of shell, which is the matte color. I'm just going to make sure that I add that little bit of light and pinkiness. Love it. All right, final shade that I'm going to use from here is going to be the Siren Song. This one here. I'm gonna, I guess, complete this gradient by popping this shade all the way in the corner, giving this look some dimension. And then back to the Wayne Goss brush, back to shade Low Tide. I'm just gonna blend and diffuse that a little bit. This is like a nice iced latte type of look, but on the cooler side. That is if you like a little bit less milk in your latte. So cool, so frosty. So then to complete this vibe, I'm gonna grab a liner brush. This one is from Sculpt by Spectrum. Dip it into the shade Current. I'm gonna spray that with a fixing medium, Fix Plus. I'm gonna use that in my eyeliner because I actually don't have a new eyeliner to test out, but I definitely think this look needs a wing, but a soft eyeshadow wing. A little bit of fallout there. Whisking that away. Same thing on the other side. And boom, she's ready for mascara. For my mascara, I'm gonna go for the Flower Beauty Dream Warrior mascara. This is new. This is in the shade Black. Not really crazy about that wand, but let's see what it can do for me and for my newly grown out lashes, which by the way have indeed grown because the swatch model has noticed it. Therefore it must be true. But I will say the lash serum that I was using is on the expensive side, so unless you want to know, actually I'm just going to tag it down there. Be warned, it is pricey, but it definitely works. And you know what else works? This mascara, even though I don't like the wand. I don't know, maybe it's my newly grown out lashes like I said, but I've been loving all the mascaras I've been using lately. I mean, look at that. Even from far away, you could probably tell. Okay, this mascara is really, really nice. What I like about it is that it is buildable. You can keep coating and coating and coating without it getting clumpy and disgusting. And in fact, the outcome still looks feathery. And then I just noticed that this is actually a classic wand. It's just got shorter bristles. So perhaps the shorter wand actually now works for my lashes that are a tiny bit longer than what they used to be. Kind of obsessed. Okay, next. I'm going to reline my lips with one of these lip liners from Makeup Forever. The one that I use is the Up and Down Tan. This is a shade that I frequently use. It's just like a little bit more warm than my natural lip color, but it's not much darker or lighter. I'm going to shade the corners, also kind of along the entire lip shape. And then I have a new product from PIXI X Hello Kitty. Actually, two new products. We have a Day Glow lip serum and also a Night Glow night balm / lip serum. And these are in collaboration with Hello Kitty, so I know these will sell out very quickly. So the Day Glow lip balm is supposed to be a pH activated lip balm, meaning that it reacts to your pH levels and it gives you a unique color that is unique to you. This is what it looks like. It's clear balm stick. And then the night balm looks more like PIXI's original Shea Butter stick, if you remember that one. That one was my favorite, but I heard that this is going to be very similar, so let's try it. Oh yeah, this actually looks super, super pretty on me. Almost like a corally pink color, and then it doesn't feel oily. It actually does feel a little bit more like a gel, like a serum. I also like the fact that it's not super duper shiny. Okay, this actually looks so pretty that I don't think I want to add anything else on top. I was gonna go for this new shade in the Lip Injection Extreme, which would totally work for this eye look, but I am really loving this pH Balance lip serum. It feels super, super comfortable. Nothing like I've ever felt before on the lips. Not oily, not matte, not balmy. It's something unique and something totally, totally separate from everything else. I like the way that it looks with the Makeup Forever tan lip liner. I like the way that it looks with my eyeshadow. Only problem is my hair. I'm just gonna zhuzh it up and I'm gonna give you my final look using all the newness. All right, so what do we think? I'll tell you what I think. Complexion is looking phenomenal. I am actually really impressed by this powder, and specifically this combination of powders. I think this was a really, really good match, and I'm gonna continue exploring those two together, but I really like the way that the texture of my skin is looking. Obviously, I love coverage of the foundation, but the Too Faced foundation is one of my favorite foundations that I have been using for at least 10 years now, or as long as it's been out, maybe 8. I really love the Flower Beauty mascara. I love the new palette from Lunar Beauty. LYS brow products are really promising, but this lip serum has got me. This is such a pretty, unique color. It looks like my lips, but better, and I am just here for this whole look. I really like everything. So with that said, that is my story. That is the new makeup. I hope you like what you see, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. For now, I'm gonna say peace out. I'm gonna say farewell. I'm gonna zoom on out and invite you to check out more of my videos. I love you guys. I'm gonna go have some lemon tea, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah.